Beauty, personal care, there's like tons of products out there. By now, Nykaa and Purple are growing. There's Mama, there's like Sugar, there's like... So you've seen big companies.
Yeah.
Why did you think you will stand out?
When we started getting a little deeper into the category, in our 2 years at Freewill, we realized there's a lot of opacity. We will not have those opacity into our communication, so we'll make it like transparent. Was it transparency? It was always about transparency. If you treat people right, they become an evangelist. We are very smart as a community, as a society to figure things out.
Yeah.
And you can't be selectively honest.
But suddenly, like within 8-12 months, you were like 100 crore brand.
Yeah.
What happened? Like, what is the lesson for clues you can give for other folks who are trying to build 100 crore brands in 1 year? How did the thought process around building this kind of a product evolve?
No, so it never started as a minimalist, as an idea.
Okay.
It actually evolved with time.
Okay.
So when both I and Rahul left, we were, as I said, with Karthik, and Rahul was building a lot of digital products. So he was a pure player product and tech guy. And our initial idea was to use that experience and build certain consumer product around it. So we started with a brand called Freewill. We were doing personalized haircare.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. So, a user can come on the site, answer some 25, 26 different questions based on your lifestyle, your goals, your current hairstyle, statuses and all. And then this entire answer will convert into an algorithm. We will use certain actives in different concentration depending on your individual profile and create a product from scratch. It looked like a FMCG, but in our mind, it was a pure play tech company, right? Because we felt that, no, this is something that we understand. And if we're able to create personalized solution, very easily, we feel this is a better product than what is available in the market, right? Because end of the day, you have those 4 or 5 solutions which are not custom created for you. And a lot of small thing in terms of, your weather, humidity, your exposure to chlorine, whatnot, impact how your hair look like. So we onboarded some research guy from US. He knew how the R&D function should work. We just converted all that into a program. And that is how the journey started. We launched, I think, in 2018. We launched in October 2018.
Okay. We
ran that business for almost a year. We saw initial success also. And we scaled to around, 12-15 crore of ARR. And it was profitable. And we felt that, okay, this is it, right?
Okay.
This is the PMF, good early signs. So we raised a round through Surge. We were part of the second cohort.
Okay.
After 4 or 5 months, we realized that there are certain limitations. So initially the plan was we will do D2C, and then with time we will do offline. So we will set up kiosk in malls and multiple other places. You can go answer those on a tab and can see a product being created in front of you. The laws in India are a little different. And if you mix 2 different active, if that become a third solution, it is called manufacturing. It can only happen in a manufacturing industrial area. So we spoke to a lot of lawyers and tried to figure out a way around it. And everyone said that, till you're small, no one will notice. But at any point in time, it can become a risk, and this entire thing can go down. So that is how actually the journey for Minimalist started. So this was probably early 2020. And just after a month or 2, we all got impacted by COVID. Very, very tough time for everyone. And there was no supply chain. So we also got like 3 months doing nothing.
Okay.
And we were working on, personalized skincare parallelly around that time, which was supposed to be launched in June or July. But looking at those distribution challenges, we felt rather than doing a personalized product, why can't we build different brand, offer specific solution-based product, and let's see how that scale. So in Freewill, we would have put, say, if you're dealing with pigmentation and aging, I will put both the actives in a bottle and give that solution to you. We felt that why can't I create one solution which is very, very potent for pigmentation, one, say, for aging. Now there are 2 products. Those who need both solution can buy both. And with that, I can leverage retail, e-com, every other channel. And let's see how it evolves. So that is actually how the journey for Minimalist started.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Beauty, personal care. There's like tons of products out there. By now, Nykaa and Purple are growing. There's Mama. There's like Sugar. There's like, so you've seen big companies.
Yeah.
Why did you think you will stand out? Like I don't get where that conviction came from. So walk us through.
No, so see, rather than honestly design, when we were also doing hair care, idea was to solve problems, and personalization was a way to solve those problems. We never even launched Freewill with those claims that, hey, we have a product which contains, say, your Brazilian clay, Amazon rainforest, and all, right?
Understood.
We felt that someone who's dealing with, say, hair loss is looking for a product for hair loss. It doesn't matter where it comes from, and there would be more people like us who are more functional and use product largely for those benefits and not for the marketing statements. And maybe because so many years we have spent in tech where things are largely like problem solution, right? Not marketish, very flowery in terms of how it's been offered. So that has been maybe our life, our thinking. And when Minimalist also started, we were talking to a lot of suppliers around that time, and we felt that 90-95% of those conversations are just around, hey, I have a story. And I always feel that I don't know whether that is the right way of creating it. That I have a story of, say, a particular product, particular plant. This is used for some real great benefit. And you feel that if this is clinically proven, it should be a mainstream thing. It should not change every 2 years.
Yeah.
And actually, if you go back earlier between 2010, 2018 or so, every year there's a new concept.
Correct.
And that concept will change every year.
Yeah.
Right? And we felt there will be at least some customers like us who don't care about whether I'm using one of those buzzwords and just go solve the basic problems. So that is how it started. Secondly, when we started getting a little deeper into the category, in our 2 years at Freewill, we realized there's a lot of opacity. And while everyone say that, we are consumer focused, we are really consumer first and whatnot, in reality, that is not true. People are taking for ride left, right, and center. And if you'll start reading some labels, you'll understand what it claims, what it offers. So we felt that it was actually those moments where we felt that this is how it should not be done. And when we'll build, we just want to focus on two things. One is we will not have those opacity into our communication, so we'll make it like transparent. And secondly, if we don't like those claims and all, the value around which the brand should be built is largely on clinically proven. Then it is not subjective.
Yeah.
That I think this is good. If I can go prove that in an independent lab, whether it work, then I know it's working. Otherwise, not. And then everything around it, when you see product, communication, design, labels, colors, everything revolved around these values. So why it is black and white? Because usually we say that it's like complete black and white. There's no gray.
Yeah.
So we felt that black and white should be a design language.
No, it comes through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like when you speak that transparently and you're very open with what you're solving, what you have? Do customers tend to love you a lot more, trust you a lot more? How much of a part do you think that played in the success of Minimalist?
Yeah, good you asked this. Because a lot of time in those business conversations, people overcomplicate with a lot of jargons. End of the day, customers are humans. They are people, right? And you start to see what we value as humans. How many relationships you have right now with, say, your friends, your family, your spouses, kids, whatnot, which are deep, but not built on transparency and honesty. If you start to see your customers just like a human, these are certain things that we all, value.
Yeah, it's very core to us.
Yeah. So it's not that, has it changed right now? I think what really changed right now is our exposure on social media. So it is very easy to communicate.
Yeah.
Earlier, if I know I'm, say, aware consumer and what a brand offering is incorrect, for me to communicate back to customer, it's very difficult. Right? Maybe I can talk to 5 of my friends and all, but my reach is limited to those 5. Or maybe 10, 15. Now with social media, everyone is creating content. So virality of that is, very, very different. Second is, and again, one thing that we realized in our journey, there's a income disparity, but knowledge parity. So say even a person from a low income background in say a tier 3 city or a village can follow say a dermat in US, know exactly what should go into a skincare and how he should or she should consider the product. The person may not be a consumer today because of the income reason, but the same tool is available to both.
Absolutely.
Initially when we started, our hypothesis was this is something that maybe people in metros, that to an age group of 18 to 22 will understand.
Yeah.
And that to maybe in a higher income group.
Yeah.
And we were, randomly looking at our data on Amazon. 50% of business were coming from tier 3 cities and small villages. 50%.
Wow.
Some of those orders used to come from area where there's no even address. So you will say that
crazy.
My name and this address is exact opposite to this temple on 3rd gully or 4th gully in some very random area that not even heard of.
For a minimalist product within the first year yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then that was honestly the moment where we felt that maybe at some point in time we will plateau because not too many people understand. But we're amazingly surprised by knowing that how much people know today. And going back to your question, was it transparency? It was always about transparency. If you treat people right, they become an evangelist. We are very smart as a community, as a society to figure things out.
Yeah.
And you can't be selectively honest.
Here you were, trying to figure out PMF, you got to some number, but suddenly like within 8-12 months, you were like 100 crore brand.
Yeah.
What happened? Like, what is the lesson for clues you can give for other folks who are trying to build 100 crore brands in 1 year, Mohit?
So, it looked like it's a 8-month journey or 1 year journey, but actually it is not.
Okay.
See, some of the work we have been doing at Freewill also.
Sure.
So we had a plant. We made a lot of mistakes setting up Freewill. So there were some learnings in that journey also. We had an R&D team. Some of them were working on a product for almost a year.
Okay.
So there was some work done before launch for almost 2 years, in which we learned, made mistakes, understood before the day one, right? So actually, from launch, of course, it looked like a very different story altogether. But all we wanted to do it is just two things. So one idea was, again, I said, solving problems first rather than going into the maintenance category. If I can solve some hard-hitting problem, your trust on the non-core problem is also very high on me.
Yeah.
So if I offer a moisturizer, you can't see a visible difference after 5 usage or 10 usage.
That's right.
And maybe your repeat will be much lower. But say if I offer something, again, I said for acne pigmentation, and you see a visible change after 2 weeks, your trust on me is much higher. And you will come back and buy maybe some of those non-core products.
That's a great insight. Need to have versus like to have.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly.
You were focused on the need to have.
So our first year was all about need to have hardcore problem-based product, right?
How many SKUs or categories did you?
No, it was all face. So all just face. One category.
Yeah.
All just serums. And if I'm not wrong, we had like 6 or 7 product. 6 or 7 SKUs.
Got it.
But across different problems.
Understood.
Which are the mainstream problems in India and globally also, right? So that is how it started. Second, we knew because we have focused so much on product, somehow we knew that result will come. Now how to communicate that to the customer and how to have that honest, transparent relationship, right? So those small things sometimes are not visible, but we never invested in say influencer marketing. We felt that people are smart enough again to figure out that I'm saying, oh, I've been using this product, I don't have now acne issues, right? If I go back and see your reels, which you did a month or 2 months before, and I can't see an acne, I know you're just faking it.
Yeah.
So why can't we have real customer stories and all? So we waited for 2 or 3 months. After that, then it become more viral and you start to see those snowball. So one, there was referrals. So those who are pretty happy with it, they were referring to others. And then the second wheel was repeat. So when both started to work, you see the effect of compounding.
That creates crazy virality and compounding.
Correct. So, and again, I said that we did a lot of those small changes. So like both I and Rahul used to handle every customer query. not like 1 or 2 hour.
Amazing.
So for first 2 months, no one other than 2 of us were replying to email, SMS, DMs, comments.
Just
So, like,
learn everything about the customer.
yeah. So
and
like,
their feedback.
10 to 5 or 6, we were in office. And then from 7 to like midnight, we used to go back home, reply to everything.
Wow.
That gave us a lot of insights and help us build what the brand is today. So like, small thing, people used to say that, oh, I like because you are mentioning pH on your site.
Yeah.
And when we saw 5-10 such comments, we realized if pH is so important, why don't we publish that on the
It's on the
product
bottle.
itself, right?
Yeah, it should be on the package.
Yeah. And that changed even our product philosophy. So my R&D know that, changing certain number on site is very easy. If I'm not certain about it, I can go change it anyways tomorrow. If it is printed,
Better be
better be like fully prepared about it, right? That people can ask why this is 3.6, not 3.8.
Yeah.
And you should have your answers. Because I can't go back and change and make it like 3.8 tomorrow, right? So their readiness and product increased dramatically. We even started writing the supplier names. And that came from some of those conversations. People said, oh, your product is expensive. And again, when we started, we felt vitamin C. But there are different forms from ethyl ascorbic, L-ascorbic and whatnot. And even if I'm using ethyl ascorbic, the suppliers who are giving that for 8,000 rupee to even 35,000 rupee because of purity of content and multiple other things. And some of those, it is very difficult for customers to understand.
Yeah.
So we felt that, okay, we'll write that, I'm using this particular molecule from this particular supplier. And because of which maybe my product is a little bit expensive than others. And we even started printing that on a package.
That's a wrap on this weekday episode of the Blume Podcast. We've handpicked these moments to give you the most valuable insights in the least amount of time.
Our season partner Ultra Human is back for a second time. I'm biased as the seed investor here, but their immensely loved brand is making waves globally. Ultra Human is a health tech pioneer redefining how we track and improve our health. Their sleek titanium ring air and its new rare metal cousins accurately track sleep, movement, and recovery to deliver real-time health insights and personalized nudges. Ultra Human is creating a unique health ecosystem built on top of the wearable data. It just launched Blood Vision in the US in addition to India, a blood testing service that offers a panel of over 100 longevity and chronic disease biomarkers with the convenience of an at-home test. They're also launching Ultra Human Home globally for environment-aware analysis and sleep insights. Whatever your health fix, go sign up and experience being truly Ultra Human. Our seasoned partner, IDFC First Bank, has earned its reputation as one of India's most startup-friendly banks through its First Wings program, which provides dedicated mentorship and tailored financial solutions to help early-stage ventures scale effectively. Coincidentally, many of Blume's portfolio companies, much later stage, also partner with IDFC First Bank for their banking and financial needs. If you're well-funded and scaling, there are great lending and banking partners, and our portfolio companies would attest to that.